So, continuing our mock interview series, pretty recently I got a chance to speak with a very talented young man named Dheeraj, who is in his final year currently and applying at bunch of different companies for the job. We did a mock interview that comprised of some behavioral questions but mostly technical questions, and we tackled different DSA problems. Overall, I had a pretty productive conversation, and I feel best of luck to Dheeraj. Now, if you want to book a mock interview with me, I will provide those details at the very end of this video. So without any delay, let's get started with the mock interview for now. Why don't you just start by introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Dheeraj. I'm currently in my pre-final year in Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Bengaluru. During my initial couple of years, I have mainly into the problem solving and much less into the development. I made like couple of projects such as JobG and Searchify and exam sitting arrangement. And coming to my problem solving skills, like I've been doing competitive programming since 7 months. I've been rated as 3 star in CodeChef and pupil in Code Forces, and I solved more than 500 plus problems in LeetCode and other platforms. Apart from my technical skills, I believe I have good communication skills and leadership skills as well. Yeah, and that's about it.
No, that's pretty nice to hear. Do you have any like work experience, any internship experience in the past?
Uh, it's not the like I've been at fellowship at Head Starter. Like I worked for like 2 months over there. That's my experience.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah,
you mentioned some interesting projects, right? Like seat arrangement and
yeah,
what
yeah,
was yeah. So can you elaborate more on that seat arrangement project?
yeah,
How did
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it is a exam seating arrangement project. It is basically like it is based on like object oriented paradigm. Like we have that subject in our academics, so we should do the exam project. So I used the Java and Swing library using the object oriented concepts. Basically, in our college, they spend a lot of time in uh, calculating the and scheduling the rooms for the different exams when the semester exams occurs. So I plan like automated exam seating arrangement. Like it is like it is, as I said, it is Java based and using object oriented concepts. Like it based on all the 4 years. Like it automatically schedules uh, certain roll number to different classes. Make sure that uh, none of them are colliding. That's how I made.
Okay. So so let's assume all the students from like class first sem to a if, 6 sem or 8 sem, they all need to be
Yeah,
scheduled in an exam. There are certain X number of rooms available, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if yeah, exactly. So then now you have two parameters, and you need to find a matching algorithm and do it. So uh, what was the most difficult find did you find about this project? And
Uh, Actually, like there been 4 year students, like first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. Like I find the difficulty part lies in the allocating of the students in different classrooms, make ensuring that them the same classrooms will not be in the adjacent or the like in adjacent ones. The writing the logic for this part is like not that much difficult, but I felt little complex over there. Then rest of the thing is fine. Like as I said, like I use it most of the object oriented paradigm, like to make sure that my code is modular and yeah, that's
okay, yeah, we can talk more about it later. But let me. So was this project part of like a group project, or you were solely responsible for entirety of it?
actually as I said, as I mentioned, this is the exam project. Like I do have a team, but as I said, like most of the project life is contributed by me, and other things were done by my teammates.
Oh, okay. Let's say for an example, you are hired at any company. You are working in a team, and presumably there is a problem given to different people working in the same project. Let's say that you have disagreement with someone, and assume that someone is like maybe much more senior to you. If that is the kind of situation, and it's like a technical thing that you are all trying to solve and you all want to complete, how would you go about that? Like, how would you approach that situation?
First of all, I'll try to sort out with the my co-fellow teammate, like what's wrong, like where I'm like where he or she is doing wrong, and then make sure that uh like if it is problem something with technology, we'll try to adapt and learn the technology. And if it is maybe I'll try to uh, speak with him and try to sort out the issue as soon as possible, and uh, making sure that the deadline or whatever should be submitted on time.
Okay,
Morely,
but
I'll be engaging or speaking with the fellow teammate about this issue, so that
okay,
we
okay.
don't need to. Yeah,
So just to rephrase, you will try to communicate and see if that resolves the problem.
yeah,
And then,
yeah, that's it.
what if like let's assume that you communicate and still that person says no, this has to be the way forward, and you know it needs to, like, you are being directed to do that. And if it escalate like a level above, how would you approach it then? Still, like,
Uh, if I feel I'm I'm more confident about this issue, like what I'm doing is right, I would be speaking about my thought process with him, so that he understands what I'm thinking, and maybe he may agree to my idea. Or if we have a disagreement between us, maybe I'll try to listen his idea and try to figure out where uh, whose one is the optimal or best
oh, okay, okay. Have you ever had to face this kind of situation?
one. As of as with my teammates, I've been not facing much issues.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
if I'm ready to face, like I'd be ready to handle that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, I thanks for answering all of these questions. Now,
Yeah,
let's move on to the slightly bit more technical
yeah,
things.
sure, 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 sure.
So, can you please share your screen and open the Google Doc I shared with you?
I can see it.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to understand the problem, and I can also give you one example as well. That
Yeah, cool, cool.
feel free to ask if you have any questions.
Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah, basically we need to find the we need to find in the single room how many talks are possible without overlapping, right? Like there are a
Yeah,
lot of
exactly.
back and
How
forth.
many? Yeah, exactly. How many different meetings or
Yeah,
talks
if
can
I
happen?
go, yeah, I got it. You can see my
Yeah.
screen, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can see.
Huh.
I can see.
Uh,
I'm seeing currently seeing the Google Doc screen. But yeah, you can just
yeah, yeah,
try to explain what do you think about
yeah, yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Uh, as mentioned there, like we have n activities, and there is a pace for each eye. There which is the start time and end time. We need to
Yeah.
make sure that in the single room, what is the maximum non-overlapping activities that is happening in the single room.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to think of is how can how can we make sure that the intervals are not overlapping. Let us say in the example we have like 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 4.
Okay.
Anyways, that is overlapping. So what I thought is we can sort the array with the help we can sort the array uh, with the start of item, so that we make sure that one activity will be after another activity. So we can
Okay.
sort the given activities with via start of start time. That's the
Okay.
thing I thought. And after sorting the array, we can traverse the whole array till the n activities. And if I am if we are in the ith ith index, we make sure that like I travel to the n minus 1 index. We make sure that if ith plus 1 is overlapping, then uh, we may assign previous to some new thing, and we increment our like we store our maximum answer. If it is not overlapping, we increase the count. I guess that should how
Okay.
it should, that's the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is good. What do you think would be the time and space complexity in this case? Or and this
Okay.
is the final approach that you can think of?
Yeah. Look, basically, as I said, like we need to sort the array. So we have like n activities. So time complexity, like for sorting array, it would be of n log n.
Yeah. So n log n for in order to
And
sorting this.
like n2 in order to start. So overall time complexity would be of n log n. Yes. Should be the
Okay.
uh, yeah. And space complexity, maybe we can it should be yes. Time complexity would be an overall of n log n as we are sorting the array and just traversing the whole array.
Okay. Yeah, that I think that seems good. Let me give you the code base. You can just start typing your solution over there. Just a second.
Yeah,
Let me.
sure.
Yeah. Or you can just start. Assume that in the input you are just given an empty array.
Okay.
If you are given an activities array like a 2D array with start and end times, and in the answer you just need to return an integer. So yeah, you can just start typing the solution.
Yeah, got it. I do code in C++. I will if it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need to
Don't worry
return
about
the
syntax. Don't. Yeah. So we need to return an integer that says that what is the
okay.
total number of blocks we can. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
return.
Let us say
Yeah.
we let, is it fine? Like it is auto correcting, or that I should correct it?
That's fine. Don't worry about syntax too much. I'm able
Yeah,
to
got
understand
it.
that. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. What? Let me take function name as like maximum overlap. Is it fine for maximum overlapping or something? I'm taking the input as the uh how do you want to take me as input or uh
You can just
we
take it
can
as a 2D array. As because it's an array with two tuples. So like let's
yeah
just
got
say
it. Yeah,
activities array. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me take this this is the input which is activities and we are going to return the like answer. Let me uh, yeah. So basically we are going to return the answer. So we have activities over here, which is let us say in this case, let us say this example. Like here we have the activities as this. Like let us say this is the this is the example. So what I said is like we can sort via start time. So I'm going to sort the activities. Like here the first index is anyway the start of I, so it will be sorted based on the start time. So I'm going to
Yeah.
sort the activity. No, I'm going to make one pointer which is the previous. I'm make sure that uh, the inter the when the next interval is overlapping with the previous one. So I'm taking the previous one as let us say here in this example we can see the ending time of the here the ending time of first interval is 3, right? So we need to
Yeah.
make sure that next interval is above 3. So I'm making the previous pointer as 3 so that I can make sure that uh, if any of the next index is overlapping with my current, so I'm making track of that previous variable. So are you able to got my thing?
Okay, just a quick question on that point. Let's assume that I currently have an index value that is, let's say, 1, 2, 5. Okay. And later
Okay.
down the road, I also have another talk that is, let's say, 2, 2, 3. Um,
Okay.
uh, just a quick question based on your point, because one interval is just going to be fell completely within the bounds of like its
Yeah.
predecessor, whose start time is also before and end time is also later. So
Yeah.
how would your
So,
sorting
so for this
would just
example, as I said, we can, as I said, like here I'm going to keep track of the previous pointer. Here the previous would be like the ending of the first interval, like activities of interval would be, as I said, it would be 5. And so I'm make sure that I'm going to traverse from the, like if it is zero span, if it is zero based indexing, I'm going to traverse from first index. Can you
yeah.
hear me? Right? Yeah. So basically, the here the previous is 5. So the anyways at least the least minimum answer anyways it will be 1. So like there will be at least at more like at least one like one non overlapping sequence, like at least one in the array. So basically here the previous is 5. So I'm checking with my uh first first index, uh, which is the 2 comma 3. So I'm make sure that here the start would start start time here is 2. So I'm mentioning that the start time would be greater than or equal to previous. So I'm mentioning that it is not overlapping. So I
Okay.
can increment. So that's how it works, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Uh, can I go?
By,
Can I
by
continue
the,
that?
on the if you see that, can you just increase like the size of like, can you just zoom it
Yeah.
in? Oh yeah. Just
Is it
zoom
fine?
it like
Or,
yeah. Yeah, I think that should be good.
yeah. Can I continue the coding?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like as you said, like I'm storing the index of 0, which is the end time of the index 0. So as I said, I'm going to traverse from the first index till the n minus 1. So I'm making that if I travel to the, let us say there are size is 4, I travel till the indexes are like 0 to 3. So I will travel from 0 to 2, 0 to 2, and when I'm in the index 2, I'm making sure that taking the next element so that I'm keeping the n minus 1. So okay, the initially our answer is,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, our answer is 0. Let us say, as I mentioned, our previous year would be the end time. Here would be the end time of the zeroth, uh, zeroth interval. Or so I'm going to, oh, yeah. So basically, we are at the 2 comma 4. So basically, if the start time of the current activities of start time of the, like start time is 0, so the start time is greater than or equal to previous time. So we are getting the other interval. What does it mean is we are getting other interval which is non-overlapping.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I'm going to increase my answer, or let us take count, like how many count of count equal to let us say 1. Currently we have already one interval. If the I plus one is not I plus is not overlapping, we can increment our count. After incrementing the count, we are at the we have the interval till the first index. We have the interval of like the merged interval would be 1 comma 4. So we need to make sure that the previous should be updated while incrementing the answer. So here the previous would be the maximum of the uh, previous one and the current activity. So which is the end time of the present index. So activities of I1, yeah. So I make sure that previous is updated. This is the
Okay.
case which is the overlapping. Let us say the we have 2 comma 4, so we increment answer. Here the answer count will become 2. Then we have like 5 comma 4. Like anyways this is sorted, so we have 5 comma 4, so we incremented answer. Here the answer would become 3. So yeah, then we got to 6 comma 9, which is overlapping. So here the count would become 1 because let me yeah, here we are at the second index. We have the count as 3. Then we have moved to 6 comma 9, which is overlapping. So what I can do is we can uh, we can from the past index the count is 3. We can reset the count to the 1 because the we have found the overlapping interval. So we need to start from that interval. So it become the count will become uh, 1 and the previous becomes we need to compare starting with the next start time with the current previous index. So I'm make suring that the previous index would be like here the previous index is maximum of previous comma activity, like maximum comma like the current index end time. Here the previous would be remain as the current like current activity end time. Let me let us say the current activity time would be the previous. Let us say this is the previous. So from till uh, till second index, we have count equal to 2, sorry, count equal to 3. Then we found then we found overlapping overlapping interval. Inter,
That don't worry about the spelling mistake. I
uh-huh,
understand. Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, I got it. Here the overlapping we found the overlapping interval. So we make sure that our count is 1. So we are starting from the new interval. Then we we are at the third index. So make sure that we need to update the previous one. So here the previous will become 9. So we need to compare with the next interval. So now we move to the fourth index, like zero based index. So we compare the start of like activities of I0, which is start time, which is we can see 8 over here, which is 8. We need to compare which is greater than or equal to previous time. Here
Yeah,
it goes false because again non
exactly. We can't.
overlapping. Yeah, yeah. And we make sure that c equal to 1. So again we found the new one and update the previous. So here we get out of loop. So I'm make sure in that let us say at the last index is non-overlapping. We need to make sure one edge case that is I should be thinking is uh, if we have the last interval as uh, non-overlapping, like anyways like we need to store the answer at every index. Like we need to make sure that how many indexes we can find which is non-overlapping, so that we make sure that answer would be storing at each I, which is the max, we're storing the maximum into the answer, like maximum count. Like let us say this is the count. uh, I guess it should see the count. So I'm finally we're gonna return the answer. I guess this should be working out like
Okay. Do you
yeah.
think we could have just not use like both answer and count? We could have just accomplished this. just like a
Mm.
better coding practice. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I guess like we can do this. Maybe we can, instead of storing the answer, we can, where while we are exiting from the loop, we can, mm, here we're going to increase the, like, we can store the answer in the maximum count, I guess it should be, like, anyways it should be.
Wouldn't it always be maximum if we are incrementing? Otherwise, whatever the previous
uh,
value. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
We can leave it here. I think you got majority of it.
yeah, I guess like it should be working. I guess like we can do without using like answer variable, like some,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That
yes,
it's just yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, since let's uh, with respect to time, let me try to just change up the solution a bit. Like, let me ask you one more question
yeah,
along the same lines. And let me just paste it over here.
yeah, sure,
So
sure.
yeah, are you able to see it?
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to see you.
Oh, okay, okay. Yep. Just go ahead and go through the problem. Ask any
Uh,
question if you have.
yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, basically this is the follow. Like basically, we have one more parameter which is weight. We need to maximize the total weight, which is for the non-overlapping activities, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So instead of two parameters, we have one more uh, parameter which is the weight. So we need to maximize the weight. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So okay, uh, I guess like uh, we have, okay, cool. We have start index and end index. Um, my initial thought process would be uh, same as the previous one. We can uh, we can sort via start time. So we ensure that like the uh, uh, so we can put everything in the tuple. So like start with start time, end time, right? We can sort via start time. So while we found the overlapping sequence, we can add up that weight to our answer. Else, like if it is non-overlapping sequence, we can add the weight to the answer. If it is overlapping sequence, we may store, as I said, like here, may we may store the like maximum weight till we have gained at ith index to our answer by traversing through the whole array. We have that all the activities are covered. Like we can return the maximum of the all activities, I guess. Like
Okay.
similar to that.
Just a
Yeah,
quick question on that note. Do you
yeah,
think it would make sense to like sort it based on the start index or like sort it based on
uh,
the end
yeah.
index?
Wait.
Which
Uh,
one would have which one would be like you would be able to come up with solution both ways, right?
uh,
But which one
I
do
am
you think
thinking.
would make
Yeah, I'm thinking that it doesn't make sense if we sort by end index. It should be maybe start or wait. What I'm thinking is anything would work because start and like because we need like we need to start with we need to sort with the help of start time, I guess, because like we need to ensure that we need to we need to ensure that like there are no overlapping sequences, so we can traverse from the zeroth index, like we can cover the all overlapping sequences and add up to the answer. If we found any overlapping sequence, then maybe we can store the maximum weight till we have found to the like answer. so that we can return. I guess like according to my thought process, like we can do with the help of sorting via time start time. I guess I'm thinking of any edge case where it fails.
Because the thing is, if you're always sorting based on the start time,
Mhm.
won't you think like handling the previous interval would become slightly trickier?
Mhm. I guess we can do that. Like as I said, like we can. This is a sorted thing. So as
This
I
is
said,
already
like we
sorted.
can.
Yeah, let's just create an unsorted thing. You can just jumble up the values, right?
Huh, yeah,
Then
yeah,
it
yeah,
would
got it.
be unsorted. But overall, if you
Yeah, yeah. Like what I thought is like we can if it is jumbled, like not in a sorted way, we can put entire into the our like maybe tuple containing start, end, and wait. We can sort via start index. Like we can start from the zeroth index. Let us say we have mm, okay, cool.
because
Let us say we have
during the
yeah, yeah.
during the overlapping index, if we are sorting it based on start index, yeah, I think it would still be doable. But
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
sort based on end index, you it would be easier to find the previous value because we know for a fact that the next value is always going to end after like the current one because we are sorting based on end
yeah.
index.
We need to like reversing.
Yeah.
I, I
So let's
feel
yeah
yeah. We can
okay
do. We
let's
can
just go
start.
ahead with sorting by end index, and then what do you think about the solution?
Okay, cool. If we sort by end index, let us say we have the 9 at the ending. Let us say, uh, cool, okay.
Yeah. So first
Yeah,
index in
let
this
us
one
say
would be
it
uh,
would 9
okay.
comma 8 and let me here it would be 9 comma 8 and
No, first, so sorting by end value would be
okay, sorry, okay, okay.
whenever the end
3
value comes later.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 3 comma 1 and 4
No, I
comma
mean,
2.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not just
You can
adding the
instead
variables.
you can write it the other way, but you just whatever way it becomes easier for you to follow. Like you can either write 1 3 as long as we because we are sorting based on the value 3, not based
Yeah,
on value 1.
got it. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you can
let us
just
say,
try to visually
let me,
represent whichever way you want to represent.
and like I'm making the end comma start. Like, let us say 6 comma 5. Then we have
9
9
6.
comma 9 6, and
We have 9
we
comma
have
8.
So if we sort by end indexes, so when we are yeah, uh, we can make sure that okay. Here we have 1 3 comma 1. If the next overlapping is next interval is overlapping, if the end index is like let us say here the n would be 3, we can say that the start if the start of this index is less than or equal to n, let us say here as we can see here here 2 here the start index is 2 which is less than or equal to 3, so we can say that this two interval is overlapping. So we can add up the weight. So here the weight would be 50. So we can store the maximum weight, which is answer is 50. So here the again the overlapping is like merging, which is the overlapping interval. So again here we can't we need to make the add weight to our answer. But like we need to set the weight as 0 and we need to add the weight to the answer because it is the overlapping subsequence. So uh, we can add up the weight, which is the 4 comma 2 interval is 10. So here the weight become 10. Then we can here the start index is 5. The previous end is
Four.
previous previous like previous end is here is 4, right? So
Yeah.
we have like start greater than or equal to n. So it is non-overlapping sequence. So can so that we can add our weight, which is 100 for this. Like you can see over here. So we can add 100, like which is the previous is 10. So here the uh, weight would become 110.
Why would it
So we can
become 110? Wouldn't it make sense to use 50 instead of 10, because we try to maximize the weight? The goal is to maximize weight, right? So
okay,
now
got it.
at interval 6 5 or 5 6.
Sorry. Yeah, got it. Like maybe instead of adding up the previous weight, we
Yeah.
can uh, we can store the previous of maximum like weight till now, which is non-overlapping. Let us say we have 10 and 50 in the previous one. So we can add instead of adding up the previous weight, we can add up the maximum previous, which is the 50 over here, I guess. Like so, it should be 110. Like current is 110. So maximum weight, which is non-overlapping till the current index would be here would be 50. So we can add the maximum. Sorry, my bad. We can maybe
No,
answer
that would, how do you come up with 110? Because in the previous,
sorry,
amongst
100,
previous two,
100. Sorry, 100. It is 100. The current is
yeah,
100 plus the
exactly.
previous maximum of the maximum overlapping non-overlapping weight till the previous index. So here the maximum non-overlapping. So my maximum overlapping is 50, so it would become one, so not 110, sorry, 150. Is that
Okay.
right or anything I can help
That,
you
that
out?
that makes sense. That makes sense. But let's
Yeah,
presume,
yeah,
so
yeah.
every time there is a overlap scenario, then there is
Okay,
different possibility of paths you can take, that which interval to include in the maximum weight and which one not to include. Um, you
okay.
are understanding, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
What I'm referring to. So
yeah,
because at index position number 2, or like value number 3, because it's non-overlapping with the previous value, so of course
yeah,
we can include the full weight of it. But then again, you see, like between 3 and 4 there is an overlap. So question
yeah.
is, no, there is no overlap, but let's assume that uh instead of this being 5 6, like next one was also, let's say, 5 to 9,
Okay,
right? If
yeah, yeah.
let's
Third one.
assume that level number 4 would have also been 5 to 9,
Okay,
then we have overlap between first and second value, and then we have overlap between third and fourth value. So once again, we are dealing with like 4 different decisions which interval to pick for the final one.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. And then,
Got it.
so in that case, just keeping track of previous max previous, do you think that would work, or maybe we will need to incorporate some more logic?
I guess if we have like one more interval which is overlapping, let us say after third interval we have like 5 comma 9. So up to here like answer would be 150. Like if we have like 5 comma 9, like it is overlapping. So the answer till this point, the answer, the maximum answer till this point would become like previous is maximum is minus 150. The current the current would be uh, the current weight would be 120 plus we need to find the all the like for the let us say this is next is 5 comma 9. We need to find the add up the all weights which is not overlapping with the 5 comma 9, like all the previous intervals which is not overlapping with 5 comma 9. I guess you should I guess like maintaining the maximum previous will not work. I should think of some other.
Yeah.
We have 5 comma 9 and we can add up current value is 120. Okay.
What do you think is the issue with just storing like max previous weight?
Yeah, like there may be multiple non-overlapping sequence. Uh, we need to track of like many, not only one maximum frequency, maybe like let us say if we have like 5 comma 9, we need to check the all intervals which is less than like which is less than 5 comma 9. All the we need to like traverse again and again, I guess, like we should.
Okay. Okay.
That's the thing.
Do you think if we store the result up to a certain point, that hey, up to this point, maybe this was the maximum we receive at like index position 1 and index position 2, index position 3, and if we have to change that, yeah, this is do you
Mm,
do you think that would work?
uh, yeah, I can try that. Like, let us say at this point we have just 5. Maybe we can think of the like maintaining the like we add up the answer to the certain state. Like if I want the answer for the ith index, we can go back to the previous index and check what is the maximum till that point. I guess can do something like that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still figuring
Sure.
it out.
Yeah. Think about it.
We are saying like we can maintain the result array, right? Like for the each, I guess. Let us say uh, you want me to maintain the result array so that we can track the maximum weight till that point or something like that.
Yeah.
Let us say we have indexes this like 1 comma 3.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So,
first position, of course, what is the maximum weight we can gain? 50.
yeah, 50. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
If it is
For
2
next
comma
one.
4, if it is
Yeah.
2 comma 4, it is like okay, got it. Like if it is the 2 comma 4, we can take the result of I plus 1 would be maximum of the previous and the current. So because it is overlapping, so we can take the result as 50 as. So if we are at the third index, let us say we are at the 100. So here the interval is non-overlapping. So basically we can add the previous, like current is the 100. We can add the previous answer, which is 50, like maximum till this point, like previous index. This is would be the current, and let us say we have 6 comma 9, which is, let us say instead of 6 comma 9 we have like maybe let us assume 5 comma like 9 as you said. Like let us take like 60 or something. Like here the interval is overlapping. If it is overlapping, we can if it is overlapping, we can maximum of 150, or we can current is 60, right? We can uh, maximum of 150 comma 60. Here anyways the answer would be 1 become 150. Let us say if it is
What
let us say,
do you think we can build like a recurrence relation in order to
yeah, yeah,
populate the result
yeah,
array?
yeah, that's what.
What do you think
Yeah,
that would be?
I'm thinking via dynamic programming. Like for the current state, if dp of I, we need to take the maximum of dp of I minus 1, like which is the like maximum till the previous point, or the current maximum sum. I'm thinking in that way. Like as you can take the maximum of 150, or like as it is a new interval, like overlapping interval, you can take the maximum of till the previous point, which is 150 or 60. So here the maximum would be 150. Let us say if you have 6 comma 9, then the sum is sum to here again it would be overlapping sequence. So we can we need to add, like we have the answer is 120. We can add up our answer, like maximum of, like previous is 150 plus current answer is 110, like so maximum of 270 comma, like this is the maximum, so it would become 270. Then at the final interval we have 30 left. because it is overlapping interval, we can make the current, we can, like last index is overlapping interval, we can make current as 0, and we can add up the answer which is the 30 to the last thing, and we can store the maximum of the previous, which is 270 comma current, which is 30. So here it would be 270. So at last, like we
So
can
wouldn't
return
just
the,
a sec, just a quick question on that. Wouldn't it be like maximum of either 270 or 150 plus 30? Because now the interval before we know for a fact that we are able to gain that much of maximum value.
okay, okay, got it,
So
got it.
subsequent value we now, because it's a overlapping interval, then there is a, we would still gain like 150 room. It's only that
Yeah,
whether we include
here,
120 or 30.
here's you're saying like here would be the maximum of 270 comma 150 plus 30, right? Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because like if you are at 8 comma 9 interval, so maybe like we can keep the track of the start point, which is 8, and we may traverse via backward uh, till we get endpoint greater than or equal to 8. Let us say, mm, okay, like we can traverse via which have we like start, which is the endpoint, like less than or equal to 8, like this goes false, this goes false, like we can stop like when we find the interval which is less than or equal to 8, like here, like here it would become 6 is greater than or equal to 8, like greater than or equal to 8. So we can take that maximum instead of like previous one, like maximum of this, like here it would be like at this index here it would be answer would be 150, right? So we can take the maximum of current is like 270. So we can add up like 150 plus the current is 30, I guess. Maybe we can do similar like something
Mm.
like this.
Yeah. So maximum of previous value or like
Or we can
maximum.
travel by, yeah,
Yeah,
or we can
exactly.
travel via backwards till we
Yeah.
find the like start point which is less than end point, and we can add up that dp of I or something. Is it
Yes,
fine?
exactly. So in other way, do you think we can create like a recurrence relation like this? So at any given
Yeah.
moment, the DPFI
Yeah,
would be,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do that. We can do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah, so
yeah, we can create that.
I think we are at time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think you got the idea, right?
yeah,
Uh
yeah. I can code it
what
up. Yeah,
what we
yeah.
are
Like
trying to,
building the, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I think you should be able to code it out now. Yeah, you
yeah,
can
yeah,
stop sharing your screen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you still have some time, or if you have to leave quickly?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I would
Yeah,
love to have a
like 10
conversation with
more
you. Let's
minutes.
say the project you created, like the seat arrangement project. Now, assume that you want to like increase the scale of it, and now I ask you as a corporation that, hey, build me a product where you would take in n number of users, like any set of
Okay,
users, right? And then you have certain criteria, and you
okay,
have like certain seats to fill, and how would you sort them out? Let's say that instead of just your own exam, I want you to build a system that would conduct like UPSC exams all across India.
okay,
And
okay.
yeah, uh, filtering parameters can be anything that two person
Uh,
should not, two
we need
person with the
to basically
similar
we
roll
need to
number.
scale. Yeah, basically we need to scale to that larger extent.
Yeah, exactly. So what would you approach? What would you change?
Mm, maybe as my project is like I haven't deployed, like I haven't deployed, like I just like did for the small scale, like for my college. So I want to scale up to the big extent. Maybe I can take up some help with a like with some cloud platform such as AWS or Azure. I can deploy it over there by maintaining the like how my other load of the servers are, like how many users are using. I can maintain that, like keep track of the analytics. Maybe cloud would be the,
Let's assume that we have large enough server that will be able to run your solution, right? Now I
okay.
ask you
Yeah,
that, hey, I have this 10 million users that we currently have, And for these 10 so 10 million students, not users, for these
Got
10
it.
million students, yeah, I want you to arrange seating all across India. So we have, let's say, 10,000 centers, and each center can hold up to like 10,000 seats.
Okay, got it.
And yeah, I give you a criteria that for each of the student, you should only put them within the same state but not within the same locality of their center. So
Okay.
what are your thought process, like what parameters do you think would come into play? How would you build that filtering logic that would create
Okay,
like an
got it. Got
optimal
it.
set of, yeah, optimal set of
Maybe I haven't used the database in my project, but as you said, like in order to filter the like India ways, we ensure that like adjacent or adjacent students will not be from the state set. Maybe like we can store the all the data initially, all the details of the students in the database. Then maybe we can perform the queries such as like we need to ensure that like adjacent students are not from the same state or like according to our requirements. I guess like you can do with the help of like database. I'm not wrong.
okay, okay, yeah, I'm just more curious on the underlying logic. How would you go
Okay.
over, like, because it's mapping between
Yeah, we
seat
can or
with
yeah.
student.
Maybe yeah, got it. Got it.
Yeah, and every single time you try to populate a student, you want to check adjacent seats, or like maybe in all four directional seats, right? So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say
yeah,
if we presume like a matrix like structure, it's just populating the matrix with
yeah.
correct set
All
of users.
adjacent.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a matter of how.
Maybe, yeah, maybe like let us say if the student is from let us say Karnataka, like I students, like let us say 2D matrix. If the I comma J student is like from A state, we need to ensure that like the neighbors, which is I plus one J, I minus
Yeah,
one
all
J,
four
like all
directions. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All four directions. We need to ensure that we need to code in such a way that we need to ensure that all the four neighbors is not from the same state. Like if you put the I comma j a state, we need to ensure that all four is from different state. I guess like we can build a logic in that way. Maybe
Okay.
kind of like DFS or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So BFS would be like a
Just
decent approach.
yeah,
Yeah. Instead of
yeah, yeah.
DFS.
That's the
Do you see the reason why BFS would work more efficiently than DFS in this case, or vice
Uh,
versa?
yeah, BFS would be yeah, as you said, like BFS would be the best one because like we need to fill the seats in the level wise. So if the one seat is fixed, we need to we can traverse to the like next level. So we can fill with that different steps and then we can move to the next one. The DFS would be not that much work with it, I guess. BFS should like BFS should be the good one,
Okay. And
like
what if I
traversing the
tell you,
level.
just a quick question, like what if I tell you to work? Would you be able to still do it with DFS? Just curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah, we can do like, but it would be kind of complex, little complex. We can do
Okay.
that, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just want to. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
covers all of my questions.
yeah.
What do you think about the process interview? How are you feeling about it?
It was very interacting and like I learned like few things. That second question is like pretty like I thought initially thought of DP, but somehow I thought like I can solve a sorting. Yeah, it was
It
very
was
like
it was DP.
yeah,
Um.
yeah, yeah.
So that's, yeah. That's
Yeah, I
that
said
was
I sensed like it may be the DB, but I thought like I can maybe thought with sorting. Yeah, maybe it was like very yeah learnful experience and like very good one.
okay.
Like learned a couple of things.
Sure. What areas, like, do you personally feel you could have like changed slightly here or there, or improved upon?
Maybe
Apart from
uh,
DP, yeah. Apart from technical,
uh,
that don't worry about it.
uh,
That's fine.
yeah, maybe solving the question without taking much help of the interviewer. That would make him like more positive. Like I should be interactive and like not taking much help. Like I can take like a little in, like not that much help. It's like
I mean,
that I should
like the thing
perform.
is, honestly, I personally felt you are like decently interactive. You are
Yeah,
guiding through the process. You are writing down
yeah,
what steps you are taking. So these are really good
yeah.
practice
Thank you.
to keep in
Yeah,
mind in an interview. I would personally feel like don't stress yourself over this thing. In fact, you could have
Yeah,
just asked that, hey, I'm trying to solve, like, especially for second question, you could have just said that I'm trying to solve it to see based on sorting and greedy if I can solve it. Do you think I'm going on a correct path, or I
yeah,
might
yeah,
be? Yeah, you could,
yeah, yeah.
if you had just asked that, that would have been great. Like I could have just said that, let's
Yeah,
see
that's
if
a big.
you
Yeah, yeah,
learn to,
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah, yeah.
instead of
That should be
going
fine.
over that decision tree. So
Yeah,
don't
that's
afraid
the
to think that in your actual interview that,
sure, sure,
hey,
sure.
if I ask this question, how it's going to look like. The
Yeah,
actual intent from like company's point of view is, they want to make sure that you, of course people can make mistakes, but they want to
yeah,
see how quickly, like, you ask for help, or you reach out, or you can think on your own. Like typically when I
yeah,
gave
yeah,
you hint, you were able to grasp it pretty quickly, which means you know what needs to be done.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, got it.
exactly. Like, and the other thing I would suggest, like, especially for behavioral portion, I think you lack that experience, like the core experience of having and of course, you are just a student, you don't get to face such kind of problems. But
Yeah,
feel free to say, hey,
yeah, yeah,
if this was the problem, I had something similar with like my professor for a project I was working
yeah,
on, or yeah.
yeah, got
And
it.
even when you talk about group project, so I asked like, what was your responsibility? Like, yeah, I did pretty much most of the work. I know it's pretty common, but like,
Yeah,
just prepare that, okay, this was the
yeah,
project.
yeah,
We were three people, and I was responsible for building the code and build
yeah, yeah, yeah,
finding the
got
logic and
it.
coding it out, and the other
Yeah,
person was responsible for deploying it and whatnot. So
yeah. Actually, like I'm not that much prepared with, like for the behavior one. Like, yeah,
yeah, just
yeah,
keep
yeah, I
going.
got it. Like I'll try to like I'll take your insights and try to work on.
Yeah, no worries. Like after this, I'll give you the access to your recording. So feel free to
Sure,
go
sure,
and
sure.
check it out. Like go through it. I
Yeah,
think
sure,
it
sure, sure, sure,
would be helpful. Okay.
sure, 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 sure.
Okay. Sure. Thanks. Bye.
Thank
So I have created this Calendly link, which I have provided in the comments and also in description of this video. You can go on this link and fill out some questions and just mention your preferences and appear for a mock interview or book a session with me. Now I have few notes that I needed to mention. Number one, I do these mock interviews to help other people on making the mistakes that typically people make, and that's why I urge you to be respectful of my time. So I had this experience couple of times where somebody booked a session with me and didn't show up, so it feels pretty bad. So please don't do that. If you book that, realize that I take this time off by playing with my kids and taking care of my family just so that I can help you people. And as always, I'm a big believer in free education, so that's why I don't feel it's right to charge money for this kind of stuff. So link is in the description. If you genuinely feel that you are prepared, definitely go ahead and book the session, and I would love to have a conversation with you and help you in your career. Now the only thing I ask is that you allow me permission to upload that in my channel as well, so other people can see how does an actual interview feels like, and learn from the mistakes you made or the good things you did. And as always, thank you so much for watching so far, and see you again next time.